Hi, this is Melanie, and I am here for a quick 3-card reading with the Pixie's Marseille Tarot. Just got this like last week or a couple weeks ago, brand new off of Kickstarter. I'm assuming they're taking pre-orders. I still haven't looked at that. I should do that. Anywho, let's just do a quick 3-card reading, and this is going to be in the style of Ferol Humphrey's Ace 2-3 reading. It is a reading we started doing in her Wild Kabala class, and that is it is a Ace 2-3. Usually we do it of a suit. Yesterday I did it, or the other day I did it for a different theme, but today we're going to do it for a suit. And let's see actually which suit we will go for. Cups. We're going to do cups again. I think that was our last one. All right, so let's do this. And off of this one, I'm actually going to take from right there. Oh, look, another cup. In the Chariot. There we go. Once again, my lights aren't cooperating here. Let me try to shift this slightly to try and get rid of that glare. There we go. All right. Sloppy start. We got it. All right. So in this reading, usually typically in a 3-card reading, you would do a past, present, future. I've also seen basically like a you, me, us together type of reading, and that this is kind of going to be a variation on that. This card represents the ace of the suit, so the Ace of Cups, and it is an offer of partnership that is being handed to you, being offered to you from whatever you consider spirit, whatever is spirit to you, whether it is ancestors, whether it is a god or goddess or goddesses, gods, whether it is some other state of being that is, what you consider spirit. That's who this offer of partnership is from. The second card is what you would bring to a partnership with spirit in terms of cups. So in terms of your either emotional health or emotional relationship, perhaps this is a relationship. And the third card in this reading is what the two of you then create together. So what will be the created outcome from this partnership? And right away we start off with our combative 7 of Wands card. This is there's a lot of energy, a lot of fighting energy. So maybe, and this is the card that's being offered by Spirit. And I kind of get the idea of fighting back. And not just, this is not somebody picking fights necessarily, but the offer that Spirit is making to you is, I'm going to make it, I feel like this is an offer of Spirit to make it safe for you to fight back in a relationship. Like you might feel like you can't get a say in something, or that you are not, you're looking out for the other person's feelings too much. It's like you have to take care of the other person. And this is giving you permission. This is an offer saying Spirit will support you when you fight back. And so then when you get that push from Spirit to fight back, what you would bring to that partnership is you're going to bring a sense of purpose, looking towards that, looking towards a successful outcome for both of you, for everybody who's involved in their relationship. So this is really looking at the idea that you're bringing. The only thing I wonder about is if this is, the ability to fight back is being offered. The only thing I worry about with this is if it gets too much into a winning at all costs idea. I feel like what should be brought to this partnership is less of a single-mindedness and more of a driven for the sake of everybody's betterment. Taking a strong lead in a relationship by fighting back and giving a direction. Perhaps that's what the fighting back is for, is so that your voice can be heard, so that you can voice, what you see as being, a direction that this relationship can be in going forward. And the outcome is very much first of all, I think you get a bigger seat at the table. I think you get to enjoy more of the relationship. That's something that I always tend to, when I'm thinking about the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups, in some of the suits, the sword, or in some of the suits, I tend to see either the Queen or the King. One of them tends to take the role of doing the work, and the other one tends to take more of a role of being the epitome of enjoying everything that suit has to offer. So like in Cups, I see the Queen as being very much she will enjoy if you can reach a state of Queen of Cups, you can definitely enjoy the fruits of this relationship. I feel like it, looking back to this one, it's that blocking, the stance of this person who's fighting with the wand. They're entangled here in among these other ones. It's like, are they trying to pull this wand out, or are they trying to push these others off? And that's like for you to think of, is when you are offered the idea that you can fight back. Do you think maybe you haven't fought back before because you feel like you get stuck? That maybe you kind of get in the weeds? And perhaps part of why this is being offered at this time is because you are ready to voice where you see this relationship going. Maybe up till this point, and maybe in this relationship, that is something that's needed, is a strong direction. Maybe it's not the right direction. Maybe it's not the direction you and the other people in this relationship end up going. But perhaps this is a dynamic where somebody needs to voice something strongly and succinctly in order for all of you to get past it. It's weird. I started out seeing both of you, and now I almost feel like this is a family dynamic, like it's siblings after a parent has passed or something like that. I get the feeling like it's people that are fighting amongst themselves, like siblings who really do care about each other. And you're at that point where maybe a parent is going to a nursing home or has passed or something like that. And you all have to start working together more than you ever have before. And this is, I feel like, whoever this reading is for, I feel like you were the person in the background before who would just be maintaining, like maybe you would be the one who was holding these wands up. You know what I mean? Like you weren't even really involved in the fight for the wands, but now it's your time to step up. You know, this wand is being offered to you a real seat at the table of what happens. And I think that when you do voice this opinion and come up with what your leadership, your idea of, and I keep saying leadership, maybe that's why it feels like a family group, because the word leadership is keeps coming to mind. So I always think of leadership more in a, you know, a group sense rather than a partner sense, a one-on-one sense. But once you voice this, I feel like, you know, typically either you'd be shouted down or you would be knocked back on your heels. I don't think that's going to be the case here, because I think as long as you're keeping this in mind, you know, what, you know, that not just you, but everybody can be at this position at some point of being able to really bask in the benefits of what this relationship can produce. And that perhaps is, you know, where you, what your particular point of view is going to say. So I'm way over, I'm at least a minute over my usual 10 minutes, and hopefully that makes sense to someone. I feel like it kind of got into a real dynamic relationship spread here about like a family or something. So hopefully that works for you. I love using this new Pixie's Tarot, and I will be back with another one. Bye-bye.